I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Colby Rebel Show. I am your host, Colby Rebel, where my goal is to answer that question or make that connection. So be sure to put your question or connection in our comments, in our chat. Join us as we connect to your loved ones on the other side. And of course, just tap in psychically to answer those questions for you. So we have an exciting show planned for tonight. Before we get started, though, let's kind of bring up a few upcoming events that I'm very, very excited about. So next week, we have our spiritual business group mentoring. So we're going to do this next week. It starts for 4 weeks. We run. And if you're into leveling up your business, wanting to take that step, maybe taking that hobby to that profession, this is an opportunity to really get that expert advice. And you are among some amazing, amazing colleagues. And not only do you build an amazing business, you will build amazing relationships. So very, very excited about that. You can find it on the website. In October, I am heading on my East Coast tour. Cannot wait for the East Coast tour. So first and foremost, I stop in my hometown where we have Dinner with Spirit. So I love doing the Dinner with Spirit event. This is really amazing. It's Sunday, October 15th. Your dinner is included in your ticket price. So really an amazing opportunity to get a message from a loved one on the other side. You can bring friends, family, really make it a day out for yourself. And we just have so much fun. So tickets are on sale for that. I then head up to North New Jersey, where I am going to work with the amazing Reverend Joe Shield. And we are going to be taking your spiritual practice to perfection. So this is going to be a workshop in person in North New Jersey. So I'm very, very excited about it. And it's followed by an evening of mediumship. So both of these events are in Pompton Lakes. That's kind of like about 2 hours away from Cherry Hill, gives you an idea. And then I'm heading more north to work with my good friend and colleague, Lauren Rainbow. And we're very excited to teach a workshop on the fundamental pillars of spiritual gifts. So this is really going to be a great class to help you work out what are those fundamental pillars that we need to really tap into our gifts. And then, of course, we are going to do an evening of mediumship, unforgettable connection. So we're very, very much looking forward to this. So all of these dates and banners are on the website, so you can sign up, join me. I'm looking forward to that East Coast tour. So let's get started tonight. Let's see. We've got Shannon in the house. So let's bring Shannon on and see what we can do for Shannon. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Colby.
How are you, hon?
Good. How are you?
Good. What can I do for you right now?
Right now, I don't really have a specific question because there are so many moving parts in my life. But
okay.
I figured there's enough chaos around me that you might be able to guide me because there's too many questions. There's too many open answers.
Well, let's see what you're meant to hear first, and we'll start with that, okay?
Okay.
So just kind of tuning in, it's interesting because as I tune in, I just feel like this is kind of the universe's way of giving you a clean slate, like almost a way of completely starting over. So it's really interesting. There may even be a move around this, either a recent move or you are moving. So I feel like a lot of shifting parts with this as well. Do you understand that?
I do. I'm in the process of moving. I just bought a new house and we're moving grandma in with us. So there's a lot.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Feels like, and I think we have some little ones too. Is that right? Do you have some small children? Yeah. Because I felt like there's going to be a household of like dynamic energies running around between grandma and babies.
There's a lot.
So what's also interesting, so, what's interesting about it though is I feel like having grandmom there is going to be really, really good. I know it's a lot of responsibility, and I know she's in need of that care. So I see that being a big reason as to why she's moving in. But I also feel like you're really kind of giving her those last chapters of her book. You're making them so special and so incredible because I feel like she's actually going to feel like she has purpose in that house, which is really great. So maybe that's either helping out with the kids, doing something to kind of give you an opportunity to work, do something for yourself, like. So I feel like that's going to be a big play in this, and I feel like she's very, very excited about it. So you're going to see, and here's the thing. I think she's going to try to help with her the dinners and the cleaning up and all. And I think the most important thing is to really know that she's coming from such a wonderful and beautiful place. Okay. So I do feel like that's going to be really good. It's definitely going to be an adjustment because I do feel like you're with a partner or married. Is that right, Shannon?
Yes.
So I feel like we've got some adjusting there as to, okay, well, what do we do as adult parents and have our private time with, your grandmother, and then we have children. So I think just first and foremost, making sure we do stay focused on that relationship. I think it is really important because it's very easy to become the caretaker of everyone and forget,
Right.
hey, wait a second, we need our time. So I would say to do that. And what's also interesting is I feel like too that we have another baby coming in as well. So I don't know if that was in your plans, but do we
It
have
wasn't.
two already?
We do.
See, I feel like that we're gonna have a third baby, Shannon.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't be surprised if that's like within the year.
That would be a
So
big surprise, but
okay, okay. Well, you never know. We never know what that baby could look like, even if it's got fur, right? I just feel
I
like,
mean, we got a puppy in May. Maybe that's our
okay.
baby.
Okay. It could be. Well, we'll see. Let's just see how it plays
Okay.
out for you. But I keep feeling like, for some reason, the family feels like it's expanding. So that's kind of the sensation I'm getting around it.
Okay.
Okay. I just also feel like, I know it's a big financial jump with this house. So I know that we've got like just some like, okay, how's this going to work out? But I kind of feel very secure around it. I feel like it is going to be good. I feel that everything is going to be manageable. And the great thing is too, I kind of really feel like, again, either you're going to be entering the workforce or kind of getting back into it in a bigger way. Like, I feel like this is going to be good for you to kind of have your own thing to do and your own friends around you. So are you planning on going back into the workplace as well?
Oh, I own a karate school, and
Oh, got it. Good.
that
Okay, great.
it's been there for about 11 years now, and it's just there's a lot of interesting parts there also with employees and location. So, like I said, between moving in with grandma, my husband starting a business, my kids, there's too many different areas to focus on just one.
Yeah, what I think what's interesting is you may be spending more time at the karate center because I think you're going to have some more time. So I feel like you're going to spend it. And it's almost like I see you just cracking the whip. Like, all right, I'm going in and I'm cleaning house. So it really goes in and saying, okay, we need to reorganize, we need to restructure. And I know it's hard because I think some people have really been there a while, but I feel like you're just going to go in and say, hey, this is what I need. Like, this is like what new rules, new house, that sort of thing. I feel like is going to be good. And again, I wouldn't be surprised in a year, maybe two, but it feels a little sooner that if that location doesn't change as well, the location of the karate school may move as well. Okay.
That's my main
Um,
part too.
but it feels like it's going to move to a better area and it feels like it's going to move to an opportunity to help it become even more prosperous. So I feel like that's going to be really good as well. So I know there's a lot going on, a lot of stress, but
There it
just
is.
try to, take deep breaths with it, enjoy it. I think the most important thing is enjoy the time that you have with your grandmother because that to me feels like her living there just feels like it benefits everyone, but I think certainly like you're gonna see like a new zest in her. I think she is gonna be tired Because I don't think she's going to be used to the energy the way she thinks she is.
Absolutely.
Um,
No, they're a lot. They're a
but
lot.
but I do feel like she is she's going to do really well and she's going to be happy. So I think this is going to work great for you. Okay. I just feel like with the business, I don't see you guys selling the business. I feel like you're going to keep it.
Yeah.
But it just may be moving. I feel like moving it and getting it to like a little bit more of an affluent area, I feel like is where it's moving towards. Okay.
All right.
So it's interesting. It may be a little smaller, but in a more affluent area. So it just feels like it creates a better structure all around.
Right. Like a whole restructure.
Yeah, exactly. So have fun with it, okay?
All right. Great. Thank you
Okay.
so much. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. You're
right.
welcome. Have a
Take
good
care.
night. Bye-bye. Okay. Let us bring on Sherry here. Let's see. Hi, Sherry. How are you?
Hi, Colby. I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. What can I do for you tonight?
Well, I made a move last August, and then in November I lost my grandma, and I just kind of wondering if I'm in the right place for this next
Okay.
chapter.
Okay, got it. So it's interesting because I hate to say, but I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if you move again. It's almost like maybe you move there for your grandma to be close to her, but now it's like, wait a second, you have freedom. What are we doing now with the freedom that you have? Okay. So I feel like if you, with where you are, it's almost like there's still a lot of heaviness, maybe from losing your grandma, a lot of grief because you feel like you were very close to her. Maybe you were also taking care of her as well. So it's interesting with the two colors, right? That there was some similarities with it. But I feel like, that you're still dealing with the grief of losing your grandmother. So I think we just got to take some breaths in, kind of no, I almost feel like there's a way that you were brought to where you are for a reason, right? Beyond your grandmother. And I think if you give yourself a chance to get back into like relationships, get back into being busy and having activities, like I feel like you could have a lot more fun there, Sherry. It's almost like I don't know, are you spending a lot of time alone, can I ask?
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel like again, there's a sense of loneliness. There's a sense of almost a sense of isolation around it. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like it's like I ended up here. Now what? Now what do I do? And I keep feeling like, well, we got to get you to kind of do some things, contribute, kind of move outside that comfort zone a little bit. Is this a new area for you, Sherry?
No, it's actually my hometown. My whole family's here.
Got it. Okay. It's interesting though, because I just feel like there's a lot of aloneness with it. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's interesting with your family there because I still wouldn't be surprised if in a year that you decide that you want to move a little bit away. So just to say, you know what, this was really great and I love my family, but I'm gonna kind of move into a bit of a different direction for me. Yeah. So something that kind of gives you more breathing room in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you get a chance to be more you, or you get a chance to kind of, it's almost like maybe you're in a smaller town where everybody knows what you're doing and everybody knows the gossip and everybody knows each other. Like I almost feel like we need a little bit of separation from that. Does that make sense?
A lot. Everybody knows my family here.
Yeah, yeah. So it might be just that you need a little bit of separation so that you can, be able to have freedom to do things. Because it's also feels like maybe you're a little different than your family. So, it's either you're more adventurous or more creative. Like it's almost like you do things a little differently and you need that space in order to do it. And I think it's giving yourself that opportunity to do it. Does that make sense to you?
A lot.
Okay. Okay. So, and with where you are, it's kind of like you're limited in what you can do. And yeah, it feels very limiting with where you are. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think you're feeling that too, right? It's almost like there's almost like a cap on what you can do with where you are. So I would, start by making yourself more comfortable, making yourself get out there a bit. And it's hard too, because it's even a place where I think you had some friendships, but maybe some of those friendships are not in your life anymore. And so I think it's just a matter of, I think you're at a point where it is for you as well, this whole starting over. Okay. And this whole place of, what is it you can do for yourself? And I think the most important thing is honoring your truth during this time. Because there's also like not a lot of energy or anything. I just feel like everything's just feeling kind of like a little sinking feeling, right?
Stand still.
Yeah, yeah. And so I feel like you are going to have to kind of move. You're going to have to make that move. Maybe first trying to find a job or doing something you like. Are you working at the moment, Sherry, or no?
Well, I've been helping my dad and my aunt with rental property, but I started buying antique furniture again, and I'm starting to get back into
Refinish
that.
it or sell it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's great. That's that creative part that I feel like is going to bring you a lot of joy. So I think just kind of doing that, because I really felt like you were going to end up doing something creative. So I feel like that feels really, really good. So let yourself play with that and enjoy it. I don't think with the management, you're going to love that so much. And I think it's going to make you feel like you're really kind of settling. So I think if we get you to do some creative endeavors and not be afraid to put that out there and sell it or resell it. And I could totally see you having a little shop around it that I think would be really fun and really cool. It's also neat too, because I think you live in a town that people pass through, like if they're not necessarily touristy, but it's almost like you must live somewhere that either people from out of town will go to, or it's like kind of passing through town. So I feel like there could be a lot of like really cool things, that you could kind of resell or do that would be special kind of to the area or to a time period, things like that. Okay. So just know that your grandmother gives me so much love for you. She really gives me this sense of letting you know that she's right there with you. And I know it's been so hard because I feel like she was so close to you, almost like a mother to you, she just feels like, and I know that, it's nice because I also feel like I know she was elderly and it was very difficult, but I also feel like you made her laugh more than she had in years before you were with her. Like, I just feel like you really gave her so much joy, and I feel like she loved having your warmth in the house. You know what I mean? Are you living in her house, Sherry?
No, nobody
okay.
is at the moment.
Oh, that's interesting. I felt like you would be living in her house. Was there any talk of that or consideration of that?
Well, I've talked to them about it, but they've not read the will yet. And
Oh, okay. That's really interesting. My feeling is that she wanted you in that house. So we'll see what the will says, but she might not have had time to update that will, right? But we'll see. But I feel, just connecting to her, that she loved how she really had a lot of pride in her house, and I feel like she loved that you took care of her house as much as she did, and you had a lot of love for it, and you kept doing little things to brighten it up for her, like maybe bringing flowers or tidy things up. And I think she just really loved that. So I do know that she would love for you to take care of it.
I would love to be able to live there and take care of it.
Yeah. Well, I felt like you were moving, so let's see how this comes out. You'll have to keep us posted, but I wouldn't be surprised if you end up in that house, because I can just feel that she would love your energy in it. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Lots of love to you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Lots of love from your grandmother. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Let us take some questions here. Abby, this is interesting. I'm just looking for some guidance as well. I mean, one of the things, Abby, the first thing is, I feel like I want you to start committing, which is interesting. Maybe there's some things that you've been feeling you want to do, but you're not being committed to it. It's like either you're afraid to commit, like, oh, I'm going to go back to school. Like, let me do this. Like, I keep feeling like it's a point where I want you to really start committing, saying, I'm going to go for this and do it without that fear of it not working out. Because I feel like by doing that, it's taking some proactive direction what things I think that have been on your mind that I think if you start saying, yes, I'm going to go ahead and do it and I'm going to figure it out. I feel like that's what's really going to help. That's just going to kind of launch you forward. Okay. So let me know if you can take that. Okay. All righty. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Messages from my grandfather. The first thing I could feel around your grandfather was a big warm hug. So I feel like your grandfather might have been the best hugger. Okay. So I feel like your grandfather gives me the sense where, there's just something about it when we were feeling down or not feeling great. He just give you the best hug. So I feel like you're going through a transition at the moment where things might be really unstable. There's like a feeling of it being unstable for you. And he just gives you a big, big hug. And he's letting you know that he is there with you, that you are strong enough to make it through this transition. You're strong enough to kind of get through these crossroads and to really just have more faith in yourself. So I will leave that with you. Okay, here we go. Miss Ebony, I'm just feeling a little bit lost and looking for direction. Ebony, just kind of tuning into your energy. I will just say you feel like a powerhouse to me. You absolutely feel like there's something very magnetic about your energy. So maybe it's you diving into that more, you playing with that more, because I feel like there's a lot of people who need what you have to offer. It's almost like they need your healing. You are extremely intuitive and you just kind of seem to know things. I feel like just using that more in your life. I know you're that person where like all your friends want to just kind of ask you questions. They're always calling you. I can tell you're one of those friends, but I feel like what it is for you to really step into your power, because I'm seeing you really having your own business, being very dynamic, almost being a big kind of personality around it. So that's going to be really great to kind of see how that plays out and how you begin to step into it. And you may be working now and it feels like, you're not really enjoying where you are with things. I don't think it's the time to leave. I kind of feel like it's like, let's percolate and kind of feel like, all right, where are we going first? Like, what are my next steps first? And I feel like that's going to then help you go, okay, how do I leave this to then move into this? And I feel like that's what's going to help a lot. So a lot of times when we have that kind of feeling lost and not knowing that direction, it's a little bit of, we're definitely in a situation where we're not really enjoying what we're doing. But yet there's a calling. There's like this inner calling of, I'm supposed to be doing this or I'm meant to be doing this. And I think a big part of that is going to be you using your intuition, you stepping out, you using that beautiful personality and that big, big vibrancy that I feel like you have. And it's interesting too, because I wonder if you're kind of shy on the inside. It's funny. I wonder if there's a part of you that is kind of really shy, but it's like once people get to know you, you're out and about. But I really feel like on a bigger level, you're going to be more out and about. So good luck with that. And I can't wait to see what happens and what comes forward for you. Okay. So I'll leave that with you. Okay. Here we go. A message from Meg, my friend who passed in May. Okay, so let's see what May has to say. The first thing I got from May, so if you can take this, just make sure you answer it. So some of these say Facebook users, if you like my page, go on and like the Colby Rebel page, and I guess we get to see who you are, and that will help us call you in if I can see who you are, because I can see names and that helps, okay? But I feel like if you are able to do it, that would help, and you get to see my alerts. So let's see what Meg has to say. The first thing that comes with Meg is like, Meg brings me to her stomach, which is interesting. So the first thing I got was like a big belly laugh, but I'm also wondering if she happened to have trouble with her stomach or if there was issues with her stomach towards the end. So that's kind of interesting. It came in a little bit twofold, but I feel like with Meg, she just gives me this big, hearty laugh. So when she laughed at something, she meant it. And I feel like she could really, I don't know, I think just get lost in the joy of things, get lost in like little things. Like I feel like for her, she'd get a kick out of just being able to be with friends and being able to laugh and be able to kick back. She feels like very responsible to me. Like she had a lot of responsibility on her shoulders, or maybe taking care of other people. Like I feel like she was really that person that she enjoyed, the people around her. She enjoyed taking care of people. I just think she did it a lot. So she gives me that feeling. And I also know with her, I just know that like I feel like with her, it's interesting. I think you could just call her up. So I feel like you guys were connected very close. I feel like you talked to her a lot. But even if you took a week or two off and didn't, like you could pick up the phone and it'd be no difference. It's almost like you two are always connected. I feel like, and I feel like it's one of those things too, where she was always helping you, just kind of let a load off. It's almost like, if you need someone to dump something on or to listen, like she felt like such a great listener to me. The other thing too, what's interesting is I get the sense of tattoos. So I don't know if it's that she had tattoos or if someone got tattoos for her, but she gives me tattoos. So that's going to be interesting to see if the tattoos. She shows me a big heart for you. So I want you to know that she has a big heart for you. She's showing me all that love for you. So I want you to know that she very much is with you and around you. And I feel like she was such a fighter. So I really want you to know that she was such a fighter, and she definitely gives me that sense. I just feel like this was her time. Her homework was done and she gets to graduate, but she does it with all that like love and blessings, like kisses to everyone. I definitely feel like if you were her friend, she was a loyal friend, and you're very, very lucky. And she just gives me a lot of love for you. So I will leave that with you. Okay. All right. Wendy Ian, feeling anything important I need to know for the next few days? 2 things: breathe, stay calm. Okay. Oh, real quick. She did have stomach issues. And so we'll see what else she says. Oh, at the end. Okay. Couple of things, Wendy. I want you to breathe. And I think breathing, and I want you to slow it down. It's almost like there's a lot of either you need to, it's almost like you need to show up for something. Like you might be like a timeline is ticking. I feel like you have a timeline or a deadline and you need to kind of show up. But I keep feeling like just breathe through this. Don't allow yourself to get too overwhelmed or stressed by it. It's very much like also just been something interesting, Wendy. I wonder if you've been breathing more from like your chest rather than your stomach. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like things may feel a little bit more shallow breathing wise. So I really want to say, hey, I want you to let's slow it down a heartbeat here. Let's take some deep breaths. Let's feel them all the way into your stomach and just kind of have that sense of confidence that you are doing it right. You're right on track. It feels very good for you. And that I don't feel like there's any need for you to feel worried or stressed around this. And I'm kind of seeing a victory at the end. Okay. Victory at the end. So I do hope that helps. Okay. There we go. So, oh, she was very much a source of reasoning and had tattoos. Oh, I know Meg. Oh, I didn't realize Meg had passed. That's so interesting that she didn't tell me who she was. I love Meg, and she is so beautiful and so sweet, and my heart absolutely goes out to you. But this is interesting only because I could hear her talking to me, but she's not like Colby. You know me, right? She didn't say Colby. You know who I am. But what's so interesting is what I do know of Meg, kind of what I said is exactly how Meg is. So, that was like, oh, well, no, it is. So it's almost like when you say it, Meg is a friend of mine as well. I can validate everything. Well, my heart goes out. I felt like she was ill. I didn't know Meg was ill. I'm assuming maybe that's what created the passing. I don't know, but I didn't know that something was not right. So, my heart goes out to everyone. Megan, just what a beautiful light, and very much there for everyone. And I'm sorry for everyone. Well, that's a moment, huh? It's so crazy how like she's so long. I mean, that's the thing, Meg. Like, she didn't say, Colby, it's me. Like, she didn't do that. Like, she's so modest, the little thing. Well, lots of love to everybody. My heart, and yeah, she was sick at the end. My heart goes out to everyone. So, but I will tell you, she certainly will be watching over all of us from the other side for sure. What a beautiful, beautiful light. So, Wendy, and you are so on point specifically about the timeline, keeping on track and being overwhelmed. Perfect, like the victory at the end. Great. Yes. So keep that up, Wendy. That's going to be great for you. And just know that. Okay. Okay. Let's see. That's interesting. I wonder does anyone know if Meg had a brother in the spirit world? She just makes me feel like she's like, oh, I'm with my brother though. So I wonder if anybody knows if she has a brother that would be on the other side or a friend like a brother. Let me know if anybody knows that. Okay. Okay. Erin, one of the things coming in for you, like as soon as I kind of looked at this and saw this message, there is a job opportunity or work opportunity coming in for you. This feels really, really good. I feel like for you, Erin, I want you to just start kind of rolling it like a boss. That's kind of interesting. Like I feel like there's something very exciting coming in around work, and it's like your next steps. And I feel like it's going to be this really great, amazing opportunity. And I keep hearing to seize that opportunity. And I feel like that's really pretty close, maybe even within the next 6 months, but even if the next 3 months, so 3 to 6 months is what I'm getting. So I hope that helps you, Miss Erin. Okay, here we go. Let us see. Okay, how about Trisha? Anything from my dad? That's funny. Trisha, I think your dad had a wild sense of humor, only because when you said anything from my dad, I was like, anything from that. And he laughs and he's like, will you tell her to just leave me alone? She's always asking me. So he gives me this big laugh. So I feel like, you were daddy's girl and you would always go to him. And he's always telling you like, you can do this and you've got this and you're okay. And, so it's so funny because you're going there and he just kind of like, he's like, oh, she knows she's okay. she knows she's okay. I feel like you bring, look how big the smile got. You bring such a huge smile to your daddy's face. And I feel like, he loved that. He loved to just hear your voice. He loved to just, especially when he got to see you. But I think just as much as you would, I don't actually feel like you would text him too. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, maybe just every chance you got, you were just kind of communicating with him, reaching out to him. So he gives me all of, that love. Like he really loved that you were always thinking about him. And it wasn't just daily, like we're talking several times a day. So just know that, he's right there with it, but he really is saying, hey, wait a second, you've got this and you can do this. Yeah. See, of course he knows you miss him, but the thing is like, I feel like they just kind of say, there's no need to miss me. I'm right here with you. There's no need. I'm still right here and I can hear you, feel you, and see you. So just try to remember that your daddy is right there with you. And it's interesting, he shows me a handkerchief. So I don't know if you happen to have his handkerchiefs, but he just brings a handkerchief to your eyes. So, I think when you start to have those tears, just know that, he's right there with you and he's comforting you. And I know sometimes it's very difficult feeling alone, but just know that he is with you and he is by you. Okay. Let's see. We have Miss Beth here. Colby, would this be a good time for a career change? Or are my finances going to be taken care of with what I'm doing? First thing, Beth, it's interesting. I feel like, I think if you stay committed a little bit longer to what you're doing, I do feel like it's going to really do have that return on investment. I feel like it is going to come back in. I think what's interesting is maybe you're not fully sure it's what you want to be doing. You're not fully loving it. So I almost think there's a little bit of that lack of energy in it, that lack of manifestation in it. Maybe that's why it's a little bit of a struggle. So I feel like if you just work on that and, allow yourself to be optimistic and say, hey, wait a second, I know I can do this. Let me do it. unless it's something you really just despise doing, but it feels like you could do this and do well at it. I just think it needs a little bit more energy and manifestation mindset in it. And I think that that's going to help you a lot with it. Okay. Okay. And of course, she used his hankies all the time. So great. Yes. So, everybody, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Really appreciate you guys being here, and just keep in touch. Follow the page. It's really important. This is Colby Rebel Medium. So it's on Facebook. If you follow it, you're going to see when I'm looking for volunteers, and you may be one of them to be on camera and get your reading and join me. Love listening. Thank you so much. Yes, Beth, you are so welcome. Thank you guys so much. I want you to have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the Colby Rebel Show. Be sure to follow Colby on social media at Psychic Rebel. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please head on over to iTunes to leave a review to help Colby grow the tribe. Colby is an international psychic medium, teacher, best-selling author, and speaker. She is a master teacher of the Lisa Williams International School of Spiritual Development and is the owner of the Colby Rebel Spirit Center in Los Angeles. Visit colbyrebel.com.